this is NJ, your host on this channel, continuing our discussion on understanding the planetary presence in different houses. In this video, we are going to have our discussion on the planetary presence in the ascendant or the first house of your astrological chart. Friends, I am very sorry, I do not follow any order. I just randomly pick up the houses. So there is no order in that, but there is a lot of substance and information in this series. So friends, when we talk about the ascendant, definitely this is a very important house. It has also got its spiritual connotation as well. Your soul has got the vehicle in the form of this body, and every information pertaining to your body can be derived from your first house, the dignity and strength of your first house. So first house, to begin with, tells about your personality. Like when I say personality, so your complete physical characteristics, your complexion, your facial features, like a lot of that can be determined just by looking at which sign is rising in the first house, who is your first house lord. So for example, if you have Aries rising, you might have a scar on the forehead like me, or if you are a Cancer ascendant, you might be having a round face or round soft facial features. If you are Libra ascendant, you might have an oval shape. So a lot of information pertaining to your facial features, your complexion, your personality can be derived just by looking at the first house. First house also tells about the kind of impression people get when they look at you. So now friends, try to understand over here. Your personality might be defined more by the strong planet, which could be Venus. But just because you have Saturn present over there in your first house, so when people look at you, all those people who do not know you on a deeper level, they might get the first impression of Saturn, that this person might be very dry, very visionary, very introvert. So that is how we get to know the first impression which you exude in the world. Apart from that, your fame prospects we see from the first house. Your health prospects can be determined from the first house. The kind of potential and capabilities you carry within yourself. I always say this thing, that no matter how much strengthened position your other planetary presence in other astrological houses are making, unless and until you do not have a strong strengthened first house, your personality might lack that potential. Your chart might not have that activating or triggering factor in your life. So for example, no matter if your 11th house is promising lot many opportunities, your 10th house is promising you lot many professional development and growth, but if your ascendant or your ascendant lord is going to be weak, so you might not have the capacity or potential to encash on all those opportunity. Like the way people say this thing, that if someone hands over $1 million to you, it's better and it's very advisable that you become millionaire with your mindset, because if your mindset is not going to be of a millionaire, so like we have seen all those documentaries where people win money in the lottery and everything, and they end up losing everything in their wrong inefficient management of the finances. So because of which your potential, your capability, no matter how much afflictions you have in your chart, if you are going to have a strengthened first house, that means it has got this potential to nullify the negativity or affliction coming out from other houses of your chart. And along with that, first house also tells about the reason of your birth, the purpose of your birth, which has got a spiritual connotation to it, and along with that, what could be the circumstances around your birth. Like the way I always say this thing, that just because within our family, all of our charts are related to each other. I say this thing, that if you want to know the karmic connection which you have with your other family members, just look at where your ascendant sign is influencing or touching in their chart basis their ascendant. So for example, if you are a Aries ascendant and your mother has got a Leo ascendant, so it means your ascendant is influencing the 9th house of your mother. So it might be the blessing of the gods that you have born as a blessing to your mother. So there can be so many connotation to it, but all of that connection are always seen from the ascendant or from the first house only. So now friends, we will not go further that where your ascendant lord is placed. This video is completely dedicated and devoted to the planetary presence in the houses. So just because of the sign which falls on the first house, basis that it gets determined that what kind of planetary vibration or energies you will deal with in other houses or areas of your life. So for example, 5th house definitely tells about your relationship with your children. A 9th house tells about your relationship with teachers, guru and father. So house represent definite and fixed qualities. It's on the basis of the zodiac sign which comes over there. We get to know that once we enter that house, what kind of environment, what kind of decor, what kind of challenges or opportunities or theme we are going to find. So all of that get determined on the basis of which sign has come on the first house, and basis that consecutive signs falls in other houses. And lastly friends, first house also tells about your conduct and your actions in the society. So now friends, let's say for example, if we will find the presence of sun in the first house, so that can be seen as a very good sign, because even in the original Kalpurush Kundli, this is the house where sun gets the directional strength, sun gets exalted over here. So when we talk about your leadership qualities, executive abilities, your capacity for getting name, fame, recognition, being recognized in your chosen field, so all those prospects are definitely going to be strong and prominent. Now friends, like the way I say this thing, that just because here we are talking about your first house, which determines and has a say in your complete life. So here we are not talking about your finances, which could be your second house, or your profession, which could be your 10th house. First house means your complete life. So sun, which represents the fatherly influence as well. So some sort of strong involvement or influence of father in overall functioning, decision making of your life can be foreseen with the placement of sun in your first house. Now it all comes down to in which dignity sun is present over here, but when we talk about from the prospects of name, fame, recognition, having that glory and regality in your personality, that whomsoever is going to look at you, they are going to get that impression of, someone who has got strong morals and ethics and values and dignified conduct. That is how you can foresee the results with the placement of sun over here. Now friends, let's say for example, if sun is going to get afflicted because of the presence of Rahu or any other sort of affliction, so it could also give rise to lot of kind of a high ego as well, where you have to balance it out. Moving ahead friends, now let's say for example, if you will find the presence of moon in the first house. So friends, truth to be told, if I were to pick up any person to be good friends with or being acquainted with, so I will definitely pick someone who has got moon in the first house, because definitely this person is going to be very caring, very nurturing, because all the lunar qualities of emotions, feelings are definitely going to cover the complete personality of the person. And it also comes down to how strongly moon is going to be conjunct with the degrees of the ascendant. So let's say for example, if moon is very tightly within 5 degree is conjunct with ascendant, so definitely emotions, feelings, imaginative qualities are definitely going to take a say. Along with that, native's mother might also have a strong positive influence in the life of the native. And not only that, if moon's degree is strongly conjunct with the ascendant's degree, native might also demonstrate and carry lot of the traits from his mother side only, like complexion of the mother, facial features which have gone completely equivalent or akin to the mother. So that is how you can see qualities getting manifested with the presence of moon in the first house. So someone who can be very emotional, someone who might have interest in lot of travels, in exploration, and most importantly, this person is someone you can trust upon with your feelings, with any of your secrets, and you can fairly see a good empathizing friend with this person who is going to have his moon in the first house. And definitely with moon strongly conjunct with the ascendant degree, close to the ascendant degree, this can also give round face and very kind of a chubby, a very childlike kind of innocence in the face as well, if the degrees of moon is going to be predominantly connected with the ascendant degrees. Moving ahead friends, now let's say for example, if you will find the presence of Mars in the first house. So definitely friends, because in the original Kalpurush Kundli, this is the house which carries Mars's Aries sign energy only. So if Mars is going to be well dignified over here with the sign placement, and it is not getting afflicted with the aspect or conjunction with any other malefic planet, so Mars can actually manifest good results in the form of your personality being very courageous, very determined, very strong-willed, strong resilience. And just because if Mars's degree is going to be strongly conjunct with ascendant's degree, so it can actually make your personality very young, very athletic, very kind of broad shoulder. And just because whenever people look at you, the first impression is always get judged from the first house, so you might demonstrate and manifest this impression that this is a person who's going to be very disciplined, this is a person who is very loyal, very commanding, very confident. So that is how you will see energies manifesting. But let's say, for example, friends, if you will find Mars to be getting afflicted because of the presence of Saturn over here, because of the presence of Rahu over here. So first house generally tells about our first reaction to any given situation. So this can actually give you very explosive, very impulsive, very kind of a very outburst giving kind of personality. So there you have to make a healthy balance, and you have to learn how to use the Martian energies in a constructive way. Moving ahead, friends, now let's say, for example, if we will find the presence of Mercury in the first house, so that can be seen as a very good sign. All the Mercurian qualities of intellectual mental aptitude, when we talk about strong discriminatory intelligence, your capacity to travel, to communicate, learn lot many languages, adapt yourself to any given prevalent circumstances. So all these qualities are going to manifest because of the Mercury's presence over here in your first house. Mercury is also a very young planet. Mercury is also a very friendly planet. So this is also going to give us this idea how your conduct is going to be in the society, and not only that, the kind of impression which people get when they look at you. So your personality might come across as someone who is very relatable, who is very adaptable, who is a team player. So that is how the Mercurian qualities are going to manifest over here. And let's say, for example, if with this placement you take your profession, you make your profession in the fields of accounting, public speaking, anything to do with business, becoming self-employed, freelance, working with your own skill. So with this placement of Mercury in the first house, it can actually help you, encourage you in any of those chosen occupations. Moving ahead, friends, now let's say, for example, if we will find the presence of Jupiter over here, which can be seen as a good sign, because friends, Jupiter is definitely the guru, the preceptor and teacher amongst the planets, and along with that, the presence of Jupiter in the first house just tells about that divine grace touches you in which specific area of your life. So first house, which defines your complete life. So this can be seen as a good sign. Like I have generally seen that all those people who have here, you do not even have to take into consideration moon. Just the mere presence of Jupiter in the first house can be seen as a good sign that the mentors, the advices, capacity to see goodness, and being touched by the epiphanies, inspiration, realization. So from all of those perspectives, the presence of Jupiter in the first house can be seen as a good sign, like capacity to gain lot of knowledge, being respected, and access to lot many opportunities can be foreseen with this presence of Jupiter over here. Now friends, the only one thing which I want to say over here is that because Jupiter has this tendency of expanding everything. So if you have Jupiter strongly conjunct with your ascendant degrees, you have to take an account on your weight, because many times it gives excessive weight gain as well. So friends, the vulnerable side of this placement only manifests if you will find Rahu to be conjunct with Jupiter, or Jupiter to be debilitated, or if it is not dignified in the first house, then it can give rise to a very hypocrite nature, egoistic nature, strong sense of self-importance can be foreseen if you will find Jupiter to be afflicted over here in the first house. Moving ahead, friends, now let's say, for example, if you will find the presence of Venus over here, which can be seen as a very good sign, planet of beauty, charisma, harmony, diplomacy being present in the first house, that in itself means that your overall life is being shaded and colored with the Venus in colors. And just because first house also tells about the kind of first impression which we give in the world, so people will definitely find you very relatable. And for example, if Venus is going to be dignified and strongly conjunct with ascendant degrees, it can actually give you a very charismatic personality, very strong facial features can also be foreseen with this, and capacity to do good in any sort of fields where there is lot of sensuality is required, relationship management is required, beauty, looks is required, presenting yourself with a lot of aesthetics and grace is required. So this placement of Venus can be seen as a very good sign, because first house act as a magnet. So what kind of people you attract and what kind of people you repel, that we get to know from the first house connected energies. So if you will find the presence of such a harmonious, beautiful and a benefic planet, it is definitely going to attract lot many opportunities, relationship, which could be platonic, which could be social friendly nature as well. So that is how you will see energies manifesting with the Venus's presence right over there in your first house. People will definitely find you very relatable. Moving ahead, friends, now let's say for example, if we will find the presence of Saturn in the first house. So friends, truth to be told, like with Saturn's presence in the first house, it is always a red flag sign, because Saturn in itself represents karma. So karma, heaviness, responsibility, inertia is coming over there and sitting right over there in your first house. The good part is that these are among those people who become mature very early in life. Some of them might even take family responsibility from a very young age. From demonstrating strong academic, intellectual quality, visionary quality, strong sense of fairness, judgment, this placement can be seen as a very good sign. The only concern is that because Saturn represents karma, you cannot understand why you are getting punished whenever you are in the purview or influence of Ketu or Saturn, because it has everything to do with the past life. So the only thing which can be foreseen with this is that because wheresoever Saturn is sitting in your chart, the responsibility aspect, test and trial aspect tend to remain very strong in that house. So just because it is sitting right over there in your first house, so always guard your public image, never associate yourself with any unethical actions. But along with that, if we will learn the Saturnian principle of humility, of being serviceful, always trying to help people, being very humble. So if you can blend and adapt your life with the Saturnian principles, so trust me, with this position, when we talk about power, we talk about authority, becoming a successful politician, all those things can be foreseen. And friends, the only concern is that with this placement and along with that, if we will also find moon to be afflicted, like moon is present in the 6th house, 8th house, 12th house. So in those kind of circumstances, it can, with this dual effect of moon getting afflicted, Saturn over there in your first house, in a negative side, it can also make the personality very dry, very pessimistic, very melancholy. So there you need to work on. So friends, in this kind of situation, the only saving grace is going to come from Jupiter's aspect or Jupiter's presence in the chart. So if Jupiter is going to be looking at your first house to the ascendant, it can actually cancel or reconcile the melancholy side of Saturn, because otherwise it can give rise to lot of pessimism and negativity as well. Moving ahead, friends, now let's say for example, if we will find the presence of Rahu over there in your first house. So friends, different astrologers have got a different view with this placement of Rahu in the first house. But trust me, if I were to share my own opinion, my own inputs, I have generally seen that this placement can actually manifest good results, because wheresoever Rahu is present in our chart, foreign element touches us in that house, innovation touches us in that house, and along with that, potential and capacity of growth and expansion, being out of the box, can be foreseen with this placement. So it all comes down to, for any sort of growth, exploration and expansion in life, this placement can be seen as a good sign. The only concern is that if Rahu is going to be strongly conjunct with the ascendant degrees and your ascendant lord is weak, then in those circumstances Rahu can give problems pertaining to health. And as you know that Rahu's problems are always like which are not getting diagnosed, and addictions, illusion can be foreseen with this placement. But again friends, I will say with this placement, if only you have Rahu to be present in the first house and your ascendant lord is strong, then in those kind of circumstances, prospects of name, fame, recognition, being a trendsetter, and because Rahu is something which is like, first house is something which people get to know when they first look at you. So your first impression is going to be always creating a mystery, always creating this kind of a hype around you. So which can be foreseen as a very good sign for all those people who become these days, who are becoming influencers, who are becoming celebrities, all those TikTokers, YouTubers. So this placement can be seen as a very good sign for doing something in the fields of social media, mass media, and getting success over there. Moving ahead friends, now let's say for example, if you will find the presence of Ketu in the first house. So that can be seen as a little bit sensitive placement in this regard friends, because okay, there has been a lot of stuff which has been written in our ancient textbooks that if Ketu is strongly conjunct with the ascendant degrees and ascendant lord is also not dignified, well placed, it can give rise to some surgery or some limb or some organ of the body missing, and so many kind of things which has been written, which is not a complete picture, because unless and until we do not know the whole alignment of your chart, we cannot say those things. But definitely with this kind of placement, you will strongly reap the results of your past life. So with this kind of placement and Ketu being strongly conjunct with the ascendant degrees, we have to give attention to your 5th house, your Saturn, your D60 chart, your D9 chart before coming to any conclusion. But the Ketu qualities of being a perfectionist, being very critical, and this is a kind of placement which can actually manifest good results if you will learn to kind of sacrifice yourself towards your public duties, because our obsession always goes in the house where Rahu is sitting. So Rahu is in the 7th house. So this placement can actually help all those people who are in any sort of medical field. You are a politician where you have to wholeheartedly devote yourself to the world, so their native can actually do very good. The only concern is that native has to make a healthy balance of his own self approval in the society or in the world, because many times what I've seen is that native gets too much dependent on the spouse, on the partner, or the world to acknowledge them. So for example, if I have to wear this t-shirt or not, if I have to wear this specs or not, this has to be my choice, not on the basis of what world is saying, what people are commenting on. So if someone who is going to have strong Ketu influence in the 1st house, that person might become very much dependent on the approval which he will seek in the outside world. But again friends, with this kind of placement, for anything to do with spirituality, of raising up your kundalini and those kind of psychic awareness, this placement can be seen as a very good sign. Moving ahead friends, now let's say for example if we will find the placement of Uranus over here. So definitely friends, with Uranus's placement over here, native is going to have very innovative, very kind of a distinctive way of looking at the world. This placement can make native a trendsetter, and native might have his own definition of presenting or projecting himself. This person cannot become a very good follower. He will not believe in conforming the traditional set course or path. He might be a kind of a rebel in the form of his family, his tradition, or might want to project himself in a very unusually innovative new way. And friends, let's say for example if we will find the placement of Neptune over here. So friends, as you know this thing that Neptune's placement can be seen as a emotional turmoil. So like the way 1st house is something which gives you this impression when people look at you, what they are perceiving out of you. So with Neptune's placement, this placement can give this idea of confusion, of enigma, of chaos, little bit kind of mystery. So it all comes down to which profession, which occupation which you have chosen for yourself, and the dignity and the strength of the ascendant lord. Along with, is there any other planet which is influencing Neptune over there in your 1st house? So let's say for example if you are Pisces ascendant and you have Neptune to be present over there in your 1st house, and your Jupiter is well placed, then in those kind of circumstances Neptune can actually manifest its strong intuitive, psychic, dreamy and creative qualities to the best of the level. But let's say for example if you have Neptune to be present in a sign where it is not going to manifest, like for example you put it in a fire sign, so you put it in a earth sign, and your ascendant lord is also not very strong, so then in those kind of circumstances there could be a tug of war or bone of contention, and specifically not only from the perspective of your conduct in this society, but the way people look at you and the impression they are going to form out of you. Now lastly friends, if you will find the placement of Pluto in the 1st house, so definitely friends, life is going to have lot many transformation. Life is definitely going to have a strong opinions, strong taste, strong sense of like and dislike. And friends, try to understand this thing. When I say transformation, like the video which I recently made on the 8th house, because I'm not following any sequence, I'm so sorry for that. So the thing is, when I say transformation, it's not like that I used to smoke, I quit smoking, or I was in a gluten-free diet, now I switched to a keto diet. It's not like that. Transformation is something where you were like a very family oriented person and you became a celibate, you joined the, you took an ascetic vow. So there is a complete shift and U-turn of your life. That is something which we say with transformation in astrology, which could come from first house, which could come from eighth house. So the point which I'm trying to make over here is that definitely intense likes and dislike, the native has to learn, because you could not be behaving and expressing yourself in a way that either you are completely behaving like a reticent, or you are not even involved in public affairs, or sometimes you just want to devote yourself completely and sacrifice yourself completely for any cause. So there has to be fine balance in the way you're going to manifest yourself. But let's say, for example, I always say this thing, in the face of the outer planets specifically, if the innate qualities which these outer planets represent, and if you will find the conjunction or a sign which manifest those kind of equivalent qualities. So for Pluto, if you get the support from, for example, Ketu, or you get the support from Mars, or you get a fire sign over here, so all the Pluto qualities are going to accentuate. So it all comes down to the dignity of your first house lord. But definitely when people will look at you, the first impression which you are going to give to the world is going to be that this is a person who is going to be very intense and he knows how to behave, and this is a person who is going to have a strong opinions, strong sense of like and dislike. So that is something, friends, which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs on this discussion on the ascendant and the planetary presence in the ascendant of your astrological chart. So for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.